Hello, I'm Father John Hynes here at St. Catherine of Siena Parish, in the Diocese of Wilmington. I'm very pleased to be with you. Today is the third Sunday of Advent, and it is also the feast, December 12th, of the Virgin of Guadalupe, recalling Mary's appearance to a peasant Indian catechist, Juan Diego, in the year 1531. And this appearance and the subsequent miracle of the roses which fell from his cloak when he visited the bishop with the news is the miracle of Guadalupe. And within a very short time, the native people of Mexico began to accept the faith and become Catholic. And the Virgin of Guadalupe has become and remained the patroness of Mexico, and in the 20th century, the patroness of all the Americas. So I thought I'd say a little bit about this reality in our faith. Mary, as she's seen in the Guadalupe icon, which is on cloth, not a statue, is garbed in the traditional garments of the Aztec royalty. She wears a cincture, which is black, and the symbolism is both of virginity and new motherhood. Around her head is a crown of 12 stars. Beneath her feet is the darkened image of the moon. And behind her is the shining rays of the sun. All this comports with the passage in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, which we read on the feast, where it says, I saw a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. And so the Guadalupe image echoes this image in the book of Revelation of this woman who gives birth to a child who will rule all the nations. Also in the scriptures of Guadalupe is the story of Mary's visit to Elizabeth. And it contains the words of Mary's song of praise, where she says, He has cast down the mighty from their thrones and has lifted up the lowly. We can hear in this a statement of what took place at Guadalupe and ever since, that the native people of Mexico, who had been conquered and had their religion discredited and taken away from them by the Spanish invaders, learned to accept Jesus through the appearance of Mary as one of themselves, because the Virgin had the features of the Indian people. She was one of them. And in the very moving dialogue between the Virgin and Juan Diego, which is repeated in the 9-day novena, which we have in our churches before Guadalupe, he continually refers to himself as saying, I am nothing. I am a piece of string. I am just a step on a wooden ladder. And she tells him, no, you are my beloved child, and all of your people are my children and my people. And this led to something which did not happen in North America. The native indigenous Indian people of Mexico survived, and not only survived, but they thrived. They intermarried with the Spanish, and so the mestizo race, which is really the race of Mexican people, survived and has grown. And so many have come into life that many, many, many have come into our country. Perhaps 40% of the American Catholic Church is of Hispanic origin. And of that Hispanic group, the Mexicans are by far the largest, perhaps 60%. I am blessed to be pastor at a church where a large number of our parishioners are Hispanic. And so every year, a mile and a half away, we begin the Guadalupe procession up the main road from Price's Corner to our church. And in that procession, 100 and then possibly 200, 250 people walk, mothers with babies and children, grown men, everyone, teenagers, honoring the Virgin of Guadalupe. And so the miracle of Guadalupe is not so much the flower, the roses of Guadalupe, which fell at the Archbishop's feet, and the image on the fabric, which remains today in the cathedral in Mexico, but rather the conversion and the deep faith of the Mexican people. I'm privileged to be a pastor here. I see families who struggle hard to make enough money to rent and then buy a house, to make sure that their children are well fed and well raised, who struggle against all the other difficulties to remain together as couples, as husbands and wives, where men take a strong role in the family's life, and where there is a special, I guess I would say, aura about womanhood, especially motherhood, because of the Virgin of Guadalupe. We see it in the quinceaños ceremony of the girls at age 15, and in many other ways. So this Feast of the Virgin, an appearance which took place 300 years before the appearances at Lourdes or at Fatima or at Knock in Ireland, is by far the oldest apparition of the Blessed Virgin. And it happened here in the New World. So we are very fortunate and blessed in the United States to be able to claim Mary, patroness of all the Americas, as our patron too, under the title of Guadalupe. It's great to be with you. I'll see you again this coming Sunday.